Good morning, East Texas. Today is a weather impact alert day. New wind. We had a tornado watch issued for parts of East Texas. That includes Houston and Trinity County and goes out towards Central Texas as well. If you take a closer look at your screen, that's what you're seeing highlighted in yellow. That doesn't mean that a tornado is on the ground. That means that we have all the ingredients there and we could see the potential for one later today. So make sure that you are staying weather aware and of course keeping up to date with the forecast. Now this is what we're looking at on radar right now. I'm not tracking anything of concern in East Texas. There are a few scattered showers making their way through Athens and Canton. Nothing of concern there, not even any lightning out of those cells. I am watching this little cell though that's out toward Austin. You can see it right there in front of the larger line of storms behind it. This is what's known as a discrete cell. That means that it is out in front of the line by itself. And this is where we're going to see something spin. Something is going to spin down. It will be likely out of this cell or something similar to that. So make sure that you are staying weather aware. Once again, not near us. This is currently out toward Austin, but we are going to keep an eye out in case we see any more discrete cells form in our area. Now, this is all part of a larger line of storms. I want to take your eyes off to the left-hand side of your screen. That line where we're seeing lots of lightning begin to pop up west of Waco, stretching out toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area. A severe thunderstorm warning active there as well out toward Weatherford, Stevensville, Breckenridge. There's a few strikes of lightning in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. Now, this line is something that I'm keeping a close eye on. It is moving out to the east rather quickly, and that's going to impact us sometime later today. So make sure that you are staying weather aware and, of course, keeping up to date with the latest weather information. Let me go ahead and throw a track on this so we can figure out when it will get to our area. I don't think our track will necessarily go out that far because it is only moving at about 45 miles per hour, so that shouldn't reach us until later in the morning. But if you have any loved ones or relatives in Stevensville, the front edge of that line should reach them closer to 841, 858. That's closer to Goldthwaite toward Hico. That's around 908. Weatherford, that will reach you closer to 930 out toward Benbrook. It will take you closer to 8:15, or I should say 10:15, excuse me. Now, we are going to see that line make its way into East Texas. That's going to happen sometime after 10 a.m. today. We'll see gusty winds. Winds at the front of this line are really going to begin to kick up, over 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts at that time. This is going to continue to push out to the east. We're still dealing with it as we head into the afternoon, and it is going to continue to push off to the southeast from there. We could have some scattered showers and thunderstorms lingering over St. Augustine and Sabine counties as we get into the rest of the afternoon. So just make sure that you are staying weather aware, or I should say the rest of the evening. So keep up to date with the forecast. Now, since you saw me this morning, we did have an update to our severe storm outlook. This is something that is put together by the Severe Storms Laboratory at the Storm Prediction Center. That's all part of the National Weather Service. A level 3 risk that was expanded. Previously, it did just include parts of Houston and Trinity counties out toward Angelina County, and now it stretches all the way out across the state line. So that's everything that you're seeing that's shaded in orange on your screen. We are seeing that level 2 risk just up to the north. That's along I-20 and up toward Rains County, parts of Upshur County as well. Beyond that, toward the Texarkana area, what you're seeing shaded in green, that is a level 1 risk. Now, in terms of what we're expecting, all types of severe weather are possible out of the system. That means flooding, damaging wind, hail, and the potential for a tornado. Flooding, I think, is going to be the most widespread risk, followed very closely by damaging wind gusts. Once again, those could get up to 60 miles per hour or higher. So make sure that you are staying up to date with the forecast and staying prepared in case those winds blast through your area. Hail could get over the size of a quarter, so that's not going to feel good coming down. And again, we could see that tornado threat. Right now, it's very much conditional. We have the energy there, but we need something to kind of ignite that fire to get something to spin. It's unclear if we're going to see that or not. Just make sure that you are staying prepared and staying up to date with the forecast. But let's talk about the flood risks, since that's going to be more of a widespread issue for the majority of us, especially for those of us that live along and north of I-20. Our weather models are spitting out between 2 to 3 inches of rain that could fall there between now and midnight tonight. That is causing a significant risk of flash flooding. Deep East Texas is set to pick up a little bit less than that, anywhere between a quarter to about ½ an inch to an inch of rain. Most of the rain, though, heading up north. Let me tell you what that means. we are tracking a flood watch. That went into effect at 7 a.m. this morning, and it will continue with us through 7 a.m. tomorrow. That's for all of the counties that are shaded in green on your screen. Remember to drive carefully, never drive into floodwaters. Don't try to walk or swim into floodwaters. That's a very dangerous thing to do. Remember to turn around, don't drown. Now, what else I need you to do to make sure that you are staying weather aware? Turn on your emergency wireless alerts. That's the same buzzing sound that you'll hear when there's a severe thunderstorm warning that gets issued across your area, flash flood warning if you get one of those, or in the event that there is a tornado warning. That's going to be your first line of defense there. That way you know that it's happening. It's the same sound if there's an amber alert across your area as well. Now, make sure that you have 2 ways to receive watches or warnings, so don't just rely on your phone. You'll also need another option in case you lose power or your phone battery dies or you don't have signal. One can be a TV, one can be a radio. I think that a NOAA weather radio is a great option as well. And if you are heading out on the roadways, make sure that you're slowing down. There was a potential that we could see some flooding and ponding out there, so you need to make sure that you are staying weather aware. All right, today things are staying cooler. We'll only make it to about 86 degrees in the Rose City, a few 70s popping up out to our west. That's from Canton all the way down toward Roveton. Overall, a rather soggy weather pattern, consistent rain. Tonight, we're only dropping down a few degrees. We'll make it down to about 63 in Tyler, 64 in Longview, and 63 in Henderson. Really just mild weather. We could see a few scattered showers popping up around sunrise tomorrow, maybe a little bit before sunrise. This is the result of the line that flew through today. So we'll have that come through between 10, maybe toward 8 p.m. Then it's going to linger out to our southeast into the early morning of tomorrow. So if you're out towards Sabine, out towards St. Augustine, Center Hill, Nacogdoches even, be prepared that you'll likely see the rain last a little bit longer than the rest of East Texas. That'll eventually clear out though by the time we get to Wednesday. Rain chances are tapering off tomorrow. I have us down to about a 30% chance of rain on Wednesday. Thursday, I think the majority of us will stay dry, but you don't want to put away your rain gear just yet because you'll need it again on Friday. About a 40% chance of rain is coming through at that time. Now, what's happening here is we have this low pressure system, and this one is a pretty tricky forecast. So it's coming through and it's giving us the extra spark we need to get these showers and thunderstorms going, as well as that potential for severe weather. But instead of moving off to the east like it usually does in a weather pattern like this, it's going to kind of linger just off to our east toward Louisiana. It is close enough that we are going to see some showers and thunderstorms get thrown our way, maybe popping up in our skies all the way through the end of the work week. There's a chance for maybe a drizzle on Saturday. We went ahead and left rain chances out that day, but just make sure that you are staying up to date and checking back with us if you do have any Saturday plans. Alrighty, that's going to continue to move off to the east, and the good news is high pressure finally takes hold of our weather pattern, and that's going to make things significantly calmer as we hit the weekend. So at least we are tracking good weather as we head into Mother's Day weekend. Let me take you back over to our radar, see what we're tracking out there. In the Fort Worth area, I am seeing a little thunderstorm complex move through. Nothing severe there at the moment. That severe thunderstorm warning is still sitting off to the west out toward Mineral Wells. Again, this line is what I'm tracking that's on its way to us later today. There is a chance that we see some, this little cell that's out towards Georgetown, Marble Falls, Killeen, Chilton, just south of Waco. That's the one that we did see the tornado warning pop out of. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on it. In fact, it still does have a tornado possible tag. So it's currently just a severe thunderstorm, but you see these little stripes on it. Those are called hatched marks. That's where we know that it could produce something. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on it. Now, again, I don't think that it's going to make it to our area, but just continue to keep an eye on it. And of course, if you have any loved ones or relatives out there, make sure to keep them in your thoughts. And of course, make sure that they are staying weather aware. Same thing goes if you are heading out there maybe on a trip today or if you're just heading out that direction. All right, once again, we are tracking that level 3 risk of severe weather, and we're also tracking a pretty significant risk of flooding as well. We're seeing a level 3 out of 4. So the second highest that there is for flooding across our area. That's everything that's highlighted in pink. Now this does include East Texas, but it does continue off toward Louisiana into the Mississippi area. Once again, remember to never drive into floodwaters. It really doesn't take much water to impact you. For the average adult, it only takes 6 inches of water, of fast-moving water that is, to knock you off your feet. For the average vehicle, that goes up to about 1 foot. Or I should say, for the small car, it's 1 foot. For the average vehicle, it's closer to 2 feet. Overall, this is not something that you want to mess with, so just make sure that you are staying up to date with the forecast. Now, usually at this point, I would take questions from our Facebook channel. We are having a few technical difficulties there, and we are working to get that back up and ready for you ASAP. I am trying to monitor our YouTube comments, so if you have any questions there, I'm doing my best to make sure that we get to all of them, but we are gonna get our, or I should say we are going to plan to get our Facebook back up as soon as possible. That way we can answer your questions. I will be back doing another live stream throughout the day today, and our chief meteorologist, Brett Anthony, will be in later. He's going to continue to bring you the latest. In the meantime, please make sure that you are staying weather aware and keeping up to date with the forecast, and we'll continue to bring you more on CBS 19 and on CBS 19 Plus throughout this day on this weather impact alert. Let me go ahead and leave you with our 7-day here. Today we have a weather impact alert. Tomorrow rain chances are still in the forecast, but they kind of peter out. Sunshine returns as we hit the weekend.